Hi again. We're going to do an amazing psychic experiment today. I'm going to do some little mini readings in a technique what we use in spiritualism called advanced clairvoyance, and that means the readings are done in advance. So in spiritualism, for example, the medium will write down on a piece of paper what he's going to say, a message from the spirit world, read it out to the people from the platform, and someone in the audience would take it. So we're going to do the same thing here on YouTube. So the messages coming up will be for you. It's like the spirit world know that you're going to be here, and the message will be given to the appropriate people. So if the message is there for you, please put it in the comments below so that we know the message has been accepted. And if you do that, it can mean that I might be able to give a little bit more to you later on in some of the other videos coming up. So put your comments, that's important. And also follow this channel, because if you subscribe and you click the little bell, you'll get updates every time that I do a new one of these as well, because there's loads of other stuff on this channel as well as just the readings, of course, but you'll get updates from the channel, so you'll be able to know another video has gone live. So coming up are my latest readings, the ones that I've done for this time. Hope you enjoy them. Okay, this first message is for someone who's just been in the process of doing a house move, and it's been quite difficult, I have to say. I feel problems with the move, bad difficulties with paperwork, and I feel also that you've just changed estate agents, or real estate agents, I suppose you call them in America too, because when these messages go, I don't know which country I'm dealing with here for this. So there's been these problems around you. I get the sense, I think I'm talking here about America actually, because when I said that, I feel as if this has been an American person that's had these difficulties. Now, I expect there's lots of people out there like that. Let's see if we can hone this down for you a little bit now. Now, I want to talk. There's two people connected with this. There's an Annie and a Jonathan. There seems to be significant names around this, and I'm getting a message from a lady in spirit, a female, well, obviously female lady. What am I saying? I feel female link, but I feel it's a lady in spirit that's trying to connect with. So the person receiving this would be female, a female person. I've got this message is for, and I feel it's your mother here in the spirit giving me this message. And let me just describe a little bit with her. I feel she's comfortable build. I feel she's quite determined in her ways. I feel she wouldn't suffer fools gladly, as we say. Strong American connection I feel here this time. So I think I'm talking about someone in America here, but I might be wrong. And I sense with her she had, I feel false teeth. So I feel I've got artificial teeth in my mouth. I sense with her she, she loved music, and she liked to sing. I can't say a professional singer, but she had a very good knowledge of music, all sorts of things, including possibly jazz as well. She may have had teaching connections, so I get the sense she may have been a music teacher or had something to do with music and schools, all right? Because she gives me these pageants and things that I see here with it. If it wasn't her, it's something significant to the person that's receiving this message. There's that sort of sense of the school things going on here, and so on. But she was very loved, because I feel, although she could be quite authoritarian when she had to be, because obviously she's a school teacher role. I feel at home, I feel quite the opposite, and I feel a lady that had very kind heart. She had dogs, and I feel I have to put it plural, because I feel she had a number of dogs, and I feel as if I want to have a group of dogs, maybe up to 4 dogs at a time in her life, and many of those have gone over to spirit now, of course, but during her lifetime a lot of the dogs came and went, but she always seemed to have in the household up to 4 dogs at any one time. So she had a great love of those. How she ever managed to keep those dogs looked after when she was doing a teaching career, I don't know. But she says that she had people that helped her with that. And so that's who the communicator is, and the recipient, I want to say that not to worry too much about the house thing. I feel it will get sorted out. It's going to still take a bit of time, and I think it's better to wait rather than rush with these things. In fact, the properties we're talking about involve possibly 2 properties, because I don't know if there's also a property somewhere connected with somewhere like Florida that's a bit hard to shift, that is not your main property. All right, so I feel I'm selling it all, putting it all together, and I have one place that is going to be going to suit me for a long time yet. But it will come together and it will get sorted out. Okay, so that's what I have to say from the message from her, and I hope that was helpful to you, whoever received this message. Okay, I'm going to go on to my next message now. Give me a moment. Okay, I get a very cheerful feeling here actually. Someone that went over to spirit quite young, quite fun. A young man, I want to say here, is communicating to another young man who's receiving this message, and the person receiving this message has actually just got a new job, and it feels great because I feel as if they're just entering a period of time where things feel really good for me. That's a good sense here with this sort of getting the new job. And the man in spirit passed over from a motorcycle accident, because I feel he's showing me that there's a skid on a long highway and I've been hit by something as I've come off my bike. Okay, so it's a motorcycle accident that comes from the person talking in spirit. The person in spirit was very it's sad that he went over, because everybody felt he was such a man that was full of such joy of life, you know, and he could be a real joker, I've got to say, real fun. I feel I want to laugh about the world as well. So he's given me this sense of somebody that is a good sense of fun, a good laugh. Okay, and he's talked the young person he's communicating to, who has the new job career thing starting at the moment. He's saying, I get the sense that this new job that you're doing feels quite creative in a lot of ways. I feel like I'm using my new skills now. I'm doing things that I couldn't do before, and I'm feeling, and give me the sense that this is great, you know, go with it. It's obviously stressful when you first join a job, but I feel it's going to get a lot easier very soon. And there's also he's talking to me something about, I don't know if there's a connection here with Spain as well, that we're going to go to Spain or do something in Spain. So that feels good to me too, or somewhere Spanish. If this relates to an American link, it might be Mexico I'm talking about, but there's something here about Spanish speaking place we're going to take a vacation or holiday to. And he's saying there, I just want to sort of give you encouragement with the job at the moment, and I feel that it's a good job, and that job's you're gonna stay with it, and that job will bring you much more opportunity in the future, because for the first time for a long time you're able to show your true skills. Okay, I'm going to go on to my next link now. Give me a moment. Okay, the link I want to give now is from obviously a very tragic passing here, because I feel the person choked, and I feel they took their own life, and this person really meant it too. This wasn't a call for help that went wrong. I feel this person really, when they took their life, they took it. I feel they've hung themselves. That's where I think I've got the choking. At first I thought I was in a car with this, but no, I feel I've hung myself. And this is a male person who's talking to me here, a young man, male, obviously male, young person, who had a very, you would never have thought that he would have taken his own life, because he appears to be a person that's really quite fun on the outside, but there was something tragic happening to him. He tells me it was all over a relationship breakup. And I'm also being told that the time he took his own life, he also was quite high. He'd taken some drugs of some sort, and then it was like it made it easier for him to do it. So he really kind of meant it, and he says, but he's kind of given me a sense of regret now, because you know, it was obviously the wrong thing to do when he saw the damage it's done. And I feel he's reaching out to his sister for some reason, and it might be his sister that's getting this message as I'm talking here. And just to give you extra proof, the things that you're wearing at the moment as you're watching this is brand new. You're wearing some brand new clothes as I'm talking to you. And actually the house around you, your setting that you're in, looks very brand new sort of feel to it, I feel. And he's talking about, he called Sister Sis. So that's often the black community call each other sis, don't they? So I don't know if if there's a black here, if his skin is black. I can't quite tell. It's funny, the spirit world, we obviously feel the inner self. It's hard to see that, but I feel there could be a connection there, and he's given me that feeling, because I get the sense with him that he loved all his he loved life most of the time. You know, it was only at the end that there was this problem, but he was such a person that had such a energy with him all the time. He seemed a very young soul, you know, even when he was he's a young man, but I feel quite a young soul with him too, I want to say, and full of enthusiasm for life. And then it all just went wrong. It was the relationship went wrong, and he just couldn't handle it. He found it just too hard, and there was drugs at the end again, like I say, to help him with the transition. Strangely enough, he gives me the feeling it was completely painless because of all that, you know. So I get that feeling with him, and he's wanting kind of almost to reach out to say to people, don't ever cut your life off, because he could have solved all this, you know. It feels as if he was very humanitarian vibration to him. I feel he could have been an Aquarian star sign. And I feel he wants to sort of reach out to any other people that have ever thought about doing something to themselves, to say don't do it, because when you get to the other side you can see all the other paths you could have taken in life, and he regrets it. But he's well over there, I've got to say, to his sister who's listening to this. And he's talking about Susie too. I don't know if that is significant to you too, because I heard the word Susie called out. I don't know if there's someone else that's in grief at the moment. And I don't feel that's that long ago, actually, because I still feel there's an inquest going on, because there was all the police there, and there was question marks over it too, because he had a few enemies. But it was a deliberate suicide, I've got to say, not set up as some people thought it might have been. Anyway, do take his love, and he says he likes the gear you got, and by that I mean the clothes, okay, because he talks about he's a joker, this guy, but I feel he's there watching over you, and he's saying, you know, it's good you're gradually, it's still raw, because it's not been that long ago, but he says you are still managing, you're coping, and you're helping others to handle it too. Okay, so do take his love, and know that he's around you and looking over you. Okay. Well, that's pretty much all I think I can do today, although a few little short messages actually, just to finish off with, because I'm tired now, because I've done another video just before this one. So okay, these are a few short messages for people. Okay, so you might better take this. I want to talk to a message here for a Kate, and I want to say to Kate that there's a man in spirit that used to drink quite a lot, and he's just given you the thumbs up, and I feel the message from Kate to Kate is you locked yourself out of the house, okay, and you had to get someone to find your way. Katie lost the key of the door, isn't it? I get that feeling. Someone's joking with me this, but you did. You lost yourself out, locked yourself out, got back in. So there's your little proof from the man in spirit, and he says, you know who I am. Heard the word Jack. Okay, just heard the word Jack. All right. Another quick message for someone else here. Someone, Mary from Spirit, communicating to me here. I'm wanting to reach out to someone with the name Margaret. Okay, so Mary is talking to a Margaret who has just lost her dog. Okay, and I want to say that dog is well in spirit. Okay, I want to say that. And I just another quick one. Can you give me some more? Someone here watching. Again, I'm on that key theme, that Katie, key of the door, but I've got one of my guides is playing me around here, I think. There's someone here who has just passed 21, because he gave me the key of the door again here. and so their 21st birthday, or very close to it as I'm talking here, and I want to give them a message from their grandmother in the spirit side. She says that she was one of a twin, okay, and she is talking here about. She's talking something about Paris, all right, and I'm seeing something about a lovely trip for you to Paris, France, and she says that you were brilliant when you were young, doing ballet, all right. So something about the ballet, all right. So you'd hopefully those bits and pieces will connect with someone there with those details. Now, just one more last one now. There's a man here who did woodwork. And I feel I've lost part of my finger. I've lost part of a finger on my hand here. And he's saying to me that he had an old car, okay? But when I say an old car, I'm talking about a classic old car. And I think I'm talking here about a Jag. I think it's an E-type or D-type Jag. He was enthusiastic about cars, and those cars from the 60s, I want to say. And this gentleman who's talking to me from spirit says there's some connection. I'm seeing Mediterranean Sea here, and I'm seeing somewhere like either the south of France or Greece or somewhere like that. I've got a very beautiful Mediterranean landscape I'm being shown here. This man must have had money in his life, because it takes a bit of cash to afford a car like that. And he's talking about this beautiful home that we had on the water there. He's talking about, and he's a very clever man. He made a lot of money, and there may have been money made with some connection with gambling somewhere. There's something connected with casinos or something. There was money associated around him, and I just feel him reaching out to his wife, who is still there. He was married a number of times actually, but he never had any bad feelings towards the ex-wives either. But he's talking to his final wife here now, just to say that he wants you to know he's well. All right. Strange message, but there's some unusual stuff there. I found the south of France. It could have even been around Nice or Monte Carlo or somewhere like that. So that could be the gambling, couldn't it? So he's talking about, perhaps that's what he wanted to say to me. And he says you've got two dogs that also look like they're exactly the same. A pair of dogs that look exactly the same. So that would also make sense to you. And he says, they sold the boat. All right. Okay. So anyway, that's my last message. We seem to have messages from all types of people today. And I hope that was of some interest to you. Do keep following this channel. If you click the subscribe button and you click the little bell, you'll get updates regularly, and I'll try to do these quite often. Okay, they're kind of coming out randomly at the moment, but I'll probably settle on one day, or once a month, or once a week perhaps, or once a day. We'll see how we get on. Anyway, so hope you enjoyed that, and keep following the channel. See you again. Bye for now. So pretty interesting all that. I hope you enjoyed it. Do leave your comments though, particularly if you've got a message, leave a comment on the YouTube, not on my Facebook. Leave a comment anyway, actually, because sometimes I pick up on things people have said, or pick up on the people that leave messages. And if you need a reading with me, obviously I'm available for readings through my website, that I do get very booked very quick. But also my team of psychics is very good, you know, too, because they can give you a reading quite short if you want one. And it's an international service, and we've got lines that you can call from all over the world. So the people that I've allowed to work there are very good, and they can give you a good message, or even a text messages even as well, if you want something very simple. Anyway, thanks for joining us, and see you next time. Bye for now.